What's up guys, welcome back to the Tacoma channel. I'm up in the office because as you guys saw from the video clip, we're installing the steering wheel controls in Christine's car today. And to start off, I need to jump on the computer to figure out how this little box right here that takes the inputs from the steering wheel and converts them to what the Pioneer head unit will read. So ignore the schematics and everything, but I have the steering wheel controls and I had to buy a separate pair because I needed the cable that connects both of them. But this is kind of the connections and everything from the head unit and everything that we're going to be using. This is the actual unit right here. It's the Maestro D2L link or whatever. Anyways, I have the quick start guide right here and it told me to go to this website right here, which I believe is where we're going to install the software and move on from there. So I'm going to go through and learn and see what all this is and what all I have to do, and I'll get back to you guys. So, download the program, install the program. I'm using Windows, it's available for Mac as well. And now I have to create an account, so I'm gonna do that now. Alright, so create an account. You have to go to your email and verify the account, and now I have to connect the device to my computer, the little module box, so I'm gonna plug that in, and then I'm gonna click to launch the Flash Maestro program. So we're gonna click it, I'm gonna launch the program. So literally I'm just following this quick start guide. Register an account, connect the module, launch the web program. That's where we're at right now, which brings up this screen right here. So what I'm gonna do is click the flash by vehicle because I don't have any favorites. All right, so we need to select the year. So we are a 2013. We have a Hyundai. Can't say that, you guys make fun of me all the time for that. This is the Elantra. All with, let's go with amplifier. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Select steering wheel. Yes, that is the steering wheel controls that we have. I just wanted to look real quick. That is the exact steering wheel controls that we have. Perfect, beautiful, this is wonderful. So now we go to the radio. We have a Pioneer. Where are the Pioneer units? Did I pass it? Radio brands. Oh, Pioneer, I'm an idiot. Pioneer. So we're gonna look for the DMHW4660NEX. So we're looking for the 460NEX. So I'm looking. We're in the A's, so we need to go to the D's. DMH 460 right there. Is that it? And that's it. That's the serial unit that we got. Steering wheel buttons, integration, solution, okay. I'm hoping this thing tells me how I have to wire it. Steering wheel controls, climate control, okay, continue. So volume up, this is cool, it's already linked. So you got volume up, volume down, hold. Oh, that's cool, you can set programs. So we got a mute button. Oh, that's cool, so you can set this up to do whatever you want. So this is track up, track down, and you can set these to do different modes. That's cool. This is the mode or the source. That's cool. You have all these options you can choose from too. So you got voice, Siri, track preset, up, skip, down, phone menu, and I'm gonna set the answer call button, the hold. If you hold the button, I'm gonna have it go to the phone menu. So we're gonna see what that, I like that option. That would be a great option to allow her to basically hold down on the answer call button, which is right here. Well, actually I need to look because they put the buttons in a different order on this steering wheel control that I have here. So let's see here. This button up here, see, the voice one isn't actually here. We're gonna leave this alone. We're gonna see how this works, because the beauty of this thing is you can re-flash it and reprogram it to whatever you need. So this is not in the exact order that's on this thing, but I'm curious to see how these buttons work, because if these buttons are in the reverse order or whatever, we can adjust it later. So we're gonna click continue and vehicle and we're gonna click flash. Flashing in progress. Cool. Installation guide, wallet card. What's the wallet card? Oh, the wallet card tells you what all the instructions are. All right, we need this thing apparently. This should tell me the wiring diagram that we need. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna put this on my phone or my tablet so I can have this downstairs, and we're gonna try to install this today. So yeah, this one is by far one of the more confusing wiring things for me. I'm gonna try and walk you guys through this, but at least from this stuff, input wise, it seems very simple in terms of basically this blue wire we're not using, but this plugs into the box and then this plugs into the back of the Pioneer unit. I know that one already. I don't necessarily know this A connection, so we have 7 wires that we're gonna have to connect to different things, and I don't know what we actually connect them to. So this says on here what we need to connect these to. Oh, okay, this is cool. All right, so this wire diagram or this little connector, I have it downstairs. It's already in the car. These are what we need to connect it to. So this is cool. It tells us that we need to connect the brown wire from the car needs to go to the purple LED red or whatever here, and then the green wire from the car needs to go to the black white, and then the red needs to go to the accessory, and then the goes to the ground. These are the power wires right here. These are very simple. Accessory power, ground wire. So okay, that should be pretty straightforward. That seems very straightforward. Let's go do this. If this seems pretty straightforward, so this should be pretty straightforward, and we should be able to knock this out pretty damn quick. So let's go down to the garage and let's get in the car and let's get started. So to get started here, the first thing that we gotta do is basically what we did last time, and that is remove all of the trim work to get to our radio so that we can get to the wiring that we're gonna need to do. We'll also be here in a second getting to the steering wheel, where we're gonna add in the steering wheel controls. So we got 2 steps in this process. One is to get our wiring fixed behind here for the module, and then secondly is installing our actual steering wheel controls. So first thing we're gonna do is actually pop off this trim work. Now this is really easy with a plastic removal tool. Just right down here, just pry it out a little bit from outside, and we're just gonna pry our way up the side here very easily. And once you get about halfway off, you can kind of just use your hands. Just be a little gentle, and it'll pop off very easily. So that's one side. Go ahead and pop the other side off. And like I said, if you haven't seen the other video when we installed the actual Pioneer unit that's in here, go check out that video. There we go. So to remove the actual surround here, there are a series of 6 8mm screws that we need to remove. So they're also Phillips, but I'm gonna use a socket. It's just a little more reliable. There's 2 on the bottom here, one right here, and the 5th tucked up here. Now this will allow us to take the actual surround out, and it's clipped in up top here, so it'll take a little bit of force. We can disconnect. Back here is our connection for the clock and the airbag sensor and all that, or the airbag indicator. So remove that real quick, set it to the side. Now we have the unit right here mounted in with 4 of those same 8mm screws. I'm gonna remove those 4 real quick. Now we pull the head unit out. We can see the massive wiring that I have behind here. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the stereo itself. So if you watched the last installation video, I bought this whole package, minus the steering wheel controls, from Crutchfield. And Crutchfield sends you a clean, like color-coded wiring diagram of how you wire it. And apparently in the wiring that we did, we already wired it for what this is going to need, with one exception that it's differing compared to what this controller box with the program just told me versus what we did. And I'm just gonna go with what we got now and hope it works, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to take it apart. So let me show you guys what that is real quick. So I went through in the last video and I've soldered all these connections together. Now the key right here is this black connector here. So as you can see there, I have a thick and a thin coming from the OEM harness. So this thick one right here and this thin one. These 2 black ones are coming from our OEM car, and they're all connected together with the other ones on the other side. And that is the ground, and it's also, I believe, pin 17 coming out of the OEM 24 pin harness. And on the out end here, we have 2 wires, 2 black wires going to the controller box. One of them is the ground, one of them is this white black wire, and the other one is the ground for the stereo. And in the instructions for the that Crutchfield sent, you're supposed to connect all those together. In the instructions that I have for the controller box, these 2 are supposed to be separate. This white black one is supposed to go to that thin black cable, and then the thick black cable from the OEM harness is supposed to connect to the solid black, and then obviously the ground for the stereo. So I'm not entirely sure if that's going to cause an issue, but we're going to see. So that's basically telling me that our wiring is already done. We just need to add in the controller box, well, at least the wiring to the vehicle itself. So what we're going to do is add in the actual switcher box now. I'm going to show you how you connect that. We're going to connect all these back together, connect these back to our OEM harness, and add in the switcher box, and we'll see how that works once we install the steering wheel controls. See if it works, see if we're all good to go. If we are, hell yeah. If not, we're going to have to undo that wiring harness right there and resolder those cables together. A little bit of a hassle, but not that hard to do. So let me go get the switcher box, or the control box, and let's install it. So the control box here is very simple, and we're not using a lot of these wires that you see here. We're only using these 4. One's power, which is the red, the black is the ground, the white black is the one that's also connected to the ground. That's the one that I said we might need to separate out going to that pin A17, but for now the Crutchfield said to connect them all together. We're gonna go with it. And then we have this purple wire that's connected to pin A4, which is the green one, the green and orange one, which was indicated on the Crutchfield instructions. Now on the output side, we have this blue port plugged in right here, and we're not using this blue wire. That's just going to be left over, so I'll tape that away. But we do have a jack, and this jack right here is going to plug into the back of the head unit right here beside the mic input. Connects right there. The mic input will connect right beside it once we put it all back together. But that's it. That's literally all you have to do when it comes to wiring this. We're pretty much already set and ready to go. We can put all that back away. For now, we're going to move on to the steering wheel. This is going to be a little bit interesting, and I've already done this once because I had to verify that I didn't have the cable that I needed. How we're going to remove the steering wheel? Well, we're going to remove the steering wheel horn airbag assembly here. And it's not as tricky as you might think. You can disconnect the battery. It's not a big deal. We're not going to be actually disconnecting the airbag at all. We're just going to be removing this module and kind of putting it up to the side so we can access the steering wheel controls. Now, to do that, there's 3 little pop pins that you have to do. On the right hand side of the steering wheel, there's a hole right there. We're going to stick a little pin in there, and we're going to pop the connection out, the spring pin for the horn. There's another one on the other side, and there's one on the bottom down here. So what I'm gonna be doing is taking a basically little screw pin and pop those. So basically you just gotta stick it in and pop the lever, and this will pop out, as you'll see in the video as I'm doing it. But again, we're not gonna be disconnecting the airbag at all. We're just gonna move it up and out of the way. There we go. So now I'm gonna go over to this side. Now we get to the bottom one. This one's kind of the most tricky one to get to. There we go. All right, so now all we need to do is literally just lift the steering wheel. Like, lift this up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, flip the airbag up here, let it lay up there. Again, we're not disconnecting anything related to the airbag. This is important. So this is what the inside of the steering wheel looks like. This is the connection for the airbag. We're not touching that. This, on the other hand, is the connection for the steering wheel controls. And this cable right here, actually we can kind of pull it out. Right now, it's only a one-sided cable. So there's more pins here that you need to activate to be able to run the steering wheel controls over here. As you can see, it's a simple 2 Phillips screws, and this whole entire steering wheel side over here will pop out. Same thing with this one. So what I'm gonna be doing is unscrewing these real quick, and then we're gonna be able to feed in the new cable that I bought with the aftermarket, or not the aftermarket, the replacement one for this. So the replacement cable goes to both sides, so you have the steering wheel controls and you have your cruise set controls on the right. So what I'm gonna do now is unscrew these so we can pop them out, and then we're gonna fish in the new wiring lines to run to here, to run to there, and then we'll be able to put this all back together real quick and easy, and it should be able to just instantly start working with this. We might have to reflash the control module if I have those buttons in the wrong order, but yeah, I'm going to install that real quick. So I did a terrible job explaining that, but basically that cable, the white one right here that goes to the right, we're going to replace it with this cable, which is a 2-sided cable. So as you can see right there, it has more pins in it. So one side goes to the media control side, and the other side goes to the cruise control right here. We'll be taking the blank out, putting this in right here, the actual control module, and we'll be good to go. So if I actually remove this pin real quick, you guys can see that it's already wired with everything that we need, which is a good thing to see, because all of these cars, the wiring from like the steering wheel down into the dash and everything is all the same. The wiring in the inside of this car is already ran for the same as the higher end model. All this additional stuff is just stuff further down the assembly line that they change out interchangeably. So literally this exact same body and wiring of the car could have been upgraded and upfitted with the bigger, better stereo system in the production line. So it's already wired internally for these controls. You just need to put them in. So it's a pretty win-win situation, especially if you're upgrading the head unit, to just go ahead and replace the modules in here so you have the controls ready to go. It's actually a little pro tip or little thing. If you have a stock based car or vehicle that doesn't have the steering wheel controls, more than likely it's already ran with the wiring to do the steering wheel controls. So if you're doing an aftermarket stereo that allows you to add steering wheel controls, you could buy the OEM ones and swap them right in, which is what we're doing here. And I'm excited. It's going to look nice, clean, professional, and it's going to look factory. And that's one of the biggest things. If you guys watch on my channel, I like to do everything very clean, professional, make it look as OEM and stock factory as possible, to the point where people are like, that didn't come with the car? I thought that you did that to the car? Yeah, I did, because it wasn't in there to start with. So let's get back to it. I'm going to go ahead and take out these controls and install them very simply with just the 2 screws. All right, so as you saw, I went ahead and put this all back together. We now have the steering wheel controls, which are lighting up and illuminating all beautifully. And I was able to hook up my phone because this has wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I have an Android, Christine has an Apple. And I was able to already go ahead and test out the functionality. Volume up works great. Volume down also works great. We have the next button and the back button. Those are working great as well. So next, back, those are working great. I got the mute. The mode button works as well to switch sources, but we're probably not even going to be using that. I have found out though through some testing that the speech and the call button are backwards. So right now if I push this, it does the speech functionality, which is not what we want. This does work to hang up calls, and I know that this one is the call button because I added if you hold this down, it goes to your phone. So I need to go and flash this again and reverse these two, and we will be good to go with the complete install done. That's pretty crazy that this worked. Literally, like, the wiring's already set, everything works perfectly fine. Awesome. Super psyched that this was as easy as what it really was. So I'm gonna get the control box, go upstairs, reflash it, come back, put it back in, and then we just gotta tidy up all of this wiring and put it all back together. And the stereo project is complete until we get around to the backup camera in the future. All right, I'm back. I reflashed it, and now the buttons work correctly. So I just had to reverse it. So that works now as the speak the text or voice chat, you know, that's the thing. We'll cancel that real quick. And the call button now works as our call button. So if I hold down on that, it'll take me to my phone menu, the recent calls or whatever, which is cool to be able to quickly access who you want to call real quick and press it. I thought that was a cool thing to add, the whole button right there. Mode switches modes, mute is mute. It's actually attenuate, so it like lowers the volume to like an acceptable level to talk to someone, I guess. It's not an actual mute function. Anyways, volume up and down works, next and back, everything works, and I am super psyched that this worked like first go, like perfectly good to go. Shout out to Crutchfield, everything worked flawlessly. So I'm psyched. I was glad I had this idea, and now you get to watch time lapse of me putting all this back together. I'm gonna get some electrical tape and kind of clean up some of the wiring because I'm big on that behind there. That way if anybody else gets behind there in the future, it looks nice, clean, and professional. So anyways, I'm gonna clean it all up and the install's done. I'm psyched. And that right there, guys, wraps up the install of the steering wheel controls for the Pioneer 4660 NEX head unit inside of the 2013 Honda Elantra. It really just transformed this whole entire car. Absolutely, like, it looks like a brand new car now. It's amazing how much just a nice clean touchscreen head unit that does Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, steering wheel controls, just makes the whole package come together and feel like this car is not 2013 but like 2018. It's kind of crazy. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave down in the comments down below what you guys think of the Hyundai Elantra project so far. We're gonna be moving into some exterior mods here in the near future, probably doing some plasti dip. We're gonna do some we got some plans. I'm not gonna spoil it all, but if you got any suggestions for the Hyundai Elantra, any videos you want to see, please leave it down in the comment section down below. Of course, my truck is chilling right over there. If you're interested in any mods on that truck, for sure let me know as well. This is gonna be like an automotive channel, guys. I'm expanding into more cars, so I'm really excited. Hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and see you guys next time. Taco Rick out, or Rick out. Peace.